Okay, Dreamer, please.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. We finally have a new Celestial Tower expansion, and today we're talking about 91 to 95. There'll be another video for 96 to 100. Okay, and this is the team I'll be using for 91 to 95. It is a very basic team whereby you have one damage dealer, one debuffer, one healer, and a immunity or resistance provider, which is Gilahan here because of the burn. Okay, you may not want to use Gilahan if you're very confident about your team, about your damage output, about your defense, about your cleansing. Okay, so it's an option, and we are going to start with level 94 first to basically talk about the boss's movements and what you need to take note. Honestly, 91 to 95 is really easy. I managed to clear them all in one try. So you'll actually be facing two enemies, okay, Gambero and Kongero. Okay, they will use basic attacks and some semi-circle AoE damage on you, and then they'll cast bombs away. Now Gilahan can actually taunt this attack, okay, so just take note of it. And then they will also start casting some barrels. Okay, these barrels, they increase as you go higher in difficulty, and they will cause this burning pool, I believe, something like the Lizardra's poison pool. Okay, you cannot enter that, so you have to avoid and try to bait the enemies out. And then once you have done that, they will continue using their basic attacks and semi-circle AoEs. From there on, Gambero is going to cast these straight line attacks. Okay, then you just have to avoid them, and then he will also cast bombs away as well at the same time. Okay, so basically all you need to do from here is just to avoid all his attacks. He will cast many straight lines. I think that's the only thing he knows how to do. Okay, so if you're using a range team here, you can actually position your range heroes in between the lines so that they don't take any damage because they can shoot from a distance. Then you only have to control Gilahan and ensure that Gilahan doesn't die. Now if you're using a melee team here, you have to control every single hero to get out of the range, otherwise they'll be hit pretty badly. Okay, so it's quite an easy approach, especially with range heroes, so that's something you want to opt for. Okay, now we'll be going into floor 95, where I'll talk about what you need to avoid, what you need to do, okay, in greater detail. There are some people who have cleared this with melee teams, so it's not entirely impossible. You just have to take note of the damage you take, because ultimately, you know, if you're using a range hero, as you can see, they are perfectly out of the range of the basic attacks. Okay, and you just have to avoid these bombs away stuff. And you can continue to do damage even from a distance. Okay, so here, when they cast the barrels, okay, you can actually bait it out because it takes quite some time to cast, right, as you can see. So you can actually wait in an area, cause the barrels to spawn in that particular area. Try to ensure that they're all very close together, okay, so that you have more space to avoid damage. Because if you are gonna run too fast and everything is too spread out, then that's not gonna be great for you. So for the straight line, okay, just make sure that you avoid into the middle part where it's empty, and basically you should be safe that way. As I mentioned earlier, if you are using range heroes, just park them in the middle. Okay, like as you can see in this case, they are kind of in the middle of that empty space, and then you can just move Gilahan in to safety, and that's basically all there is. You may also want to kill the Boatswain Tuba because if you are not very strong, okay, he could potentially deal a lot of damage to you, and it may be too overwhelming for your case. So you may want to get rid of him first. He has very little HP, so you can get rid of him very quickly. But if you don't get rid of him, he will be dealing more damage to you along with all the other enemies alongside with him. Okay, so there's some things you will want to consider. So back to the do not be like me section. This was my initial try. I didn't even know you can't enter the field, so I just got heavily burnt and movement speed down. So just make sure you do not enter the lava. Second thing might be something many of you are thinking, can you kill the Gambero first? Yes, you can, but that means you'll be dealing with Kongero alone later, and Kongero is the one that is casting all the barrels. So I don't think that's something you want to deal with, right? Especially when time is... Okay, there's no timer anymore after Gambero dies, but I don't think you want to be dealing with that for long term, and especially as you climb in the higher floors, later on you will see, he actually stacks on his lava fields, like in this case. So even when one is already existing, he can continue to cast more and you will have lesser space to run. So definitely try to kill Kongero first. And of course, don't overestimate yourself. This bombs away is quite a damaging move, so always run away from it, okay? Now for Masteries, I've been using ranged heroes, so all ranged oriented Masteries, and of course all flanked upwards for the maximum amount of damage. Okay, nothing downwards, I believe. This is an offensive Mastery. Then for Divinity, my current Divinity is at such crit damage, attack and ignore defense efficiency at 15, the rest are 14 in terms of damage oriented Divinities. And then Potentials, Corset is on 20, 15, 15. I believe my Chris is also 20, 15, 15. And my current is 15, 15, 15. And my Gillahan is actually not very built, it's only 666. So I hope this video helped, and if it did, do give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Big shout out to my channel members, Tom, Gonzalo, Jeremy, Nick, Chilling, Fahas, Yamaki, Kevin, and Harlan for the support. Stay tuned for more videos. Thank you so much, and see you!